I love myself a good strategy game. It's very relaxing and it makes my brain do some work. So when I saw the trailer for Terra Nil, I immediately thought it was right up my alley. Couldn't wait for it to come out, and here I am finally playing it. Was it really right up my alley? Was it challenging enough? Did it make my brain work enough? All in all, is this my new favorite game? I'll tell you in this video. Hi, welcome to the Fireplace. My name's Skiwi and this little channel is my passion project. I, as many of you, have a massive backlog of games, so I'm here to play through them with you and let them know if you should or maybe shouldn't buy the games as well. So let's get into today's subject, Terra Nil. Terra Nil gives a new meaning to city builders by, well, having you not build a city. The game instead lets you revitalize a barren wasteland. Terra Nil is a game that's developed by Free Lives and then published by Devolver Digital. Your goal is to act as an environmental engineer and build up a thriving ecosystem. You restore nature and afterwards completely wipe any trace that you were ever there. At the start of the game, you are able to decide how good of an environmental engineer you are already. Basically, choose your difficulty level. If you've played a bunch of strategy games and are very versed in them, you can play on a more difficult level, which I think is really nice because it both caters to players that have played a lot of strategy games already, but it also gives a step-in level for people that are very new to the genre. The gameplay itself is very relaxing, as I personally find many city builders are. As I mentioned before, it focuses on terraforming an ecosystem back to life. You start with a completely bare wasteland. There is absolutely no sign of life. And your goal is to introduce various plants and animals back into this landscape. You do this by gradually restoring the balance of the ecosystem. You do this by placing different machines with different purposes. You've got machines to refertilize the soil. You've got machines to pump water back into the streams. You can plant vegetation, also that the ecosystem can thrive. Once flora and fauna have returned, you completely recycle all of the machines that you've used and delete any trace of human intelligence ever being there. And you basically fly off and let the ecosystem take care of itself after that. As you progress through the game, you unlock new tools, new techniques, so that it makes terraforming a little bit easier and faster, aka you work more efficient and effective. The game is divided into different levels, each with a different landscape, a different climate, and it gives you a new set of challenges. Within each of these levels, you have to fulfill a set of objectives. The challenges can range from restoring humidity into the system, purifying polluted water sources, or even preventing wildfires from happening. As you progress through the levels, the challenges get more and more difficult, getting you to be very creative with the materials that you have and the resources that are provided. This is where Terra Nil really excels. It really encourages you to experiment and get creative with the materials. There is no right way to quote unquote beat the level. It doesn't hold your hand too much, and there are multiple ways to achieve the same goal. The game really never punishes you for trying something new. You are completely free to experiment as much as your heart desires, which makes the gameplay really rewarding and satisfying. The levels within Terra Nil are each unique and have their own set of challenges. Some worlds might have more water sources, other worlds might have more mountains or forests. Each level is truly unique. You really must adapt to the specific landscapes and terrains to find the best way to restore the ecosystem. Besides this, each level has a different aesthetic, which makes every level feel very fresh and distinct and doesn't make it feel like you are just repeating yourself. Whilst we're talking about the aesthetics, the visuals are absolutely astounding. The art style is something that I can best describe as painterly. It has rich colors and intricate details that make every level feel like a true work of art. The animations in the game are really fluid and smooth, and there is a real sense of satisfaction when you can see this ecosystem get more and more lively. Besides the aesthetic part, the sound design is absolutely stunning as well. The game features this soothing and calming soundtrack that complements the gameplay really, really well. The sound effects are actually really realistic and immersive, from the rustling of the leaves to the chirping of the birds. Overall, it really gives you the feel like you are inside this landscape. I find the length of the game quite difficult to guess, as it really depends on your skill level, how fast you want to play the game, if you're taking your time, etc, etc. Each level can take you anywhere from like 30 minutes up to a few hours. And besides that, it's also worth noting that the game has a sandbox feature. Given the fact that each of these levels are unique and have multiple ways to quote unquote solve them, the game has a really high replayability level, which I really look for in a strategy game. I never want a game to feel too repetitive or feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over again, and Terra Nil never really gave me this feeling. So, we've come to the end. Is Terra Nil a game that you should buy right now? It absolutely is. I would personally rate Terra Nil a solid 9 out of 10. And that's quite a thing coming from someone that's played a ton of strategy games. Whilst I was playing this game, and I will be continuing to play this game, I just looked forward every night to go home to completely wind down for my day. I really think that it is a unique and innovative game within the strategy / city building genre. The gameplay is really relaxing and rewarding, and as I said, I can't wait to play more. So if you're looking for a relaxing game that celebrates nature, then Terra Nil is definitely the game for you. If you enjoyed this video, please consider to like and subscribe down below, and comment which video game you want me Hear me talk. Which video game you want me to cover next? Well, let me know. And until then, I will see you in the next video. Cheers.